Since man first emerged, blinking out of the darkness of the cave into the blinding light of day, we have always felt an insatiable need to touch our toes. Across all cultures and eras, it is one of the greatest human comforts, scientifically proven to calm your mind and encourage the release of endorphins. But modern man has a problem. With more and more people taking up the intellectual pursuit of video games, they find themselves unable to spare a hand for their poor, unloved. This can have disastrous effects on your mental state, as the brain will still constantly crave the succor of a hand on a nice warm cat, leading to distress at having to pick between the two. Thankfully, there is a solution. My name is Gondola, and in this video, I have compiled a list of 3 games that can be played one-handed. So now, you don't have to choose. First up, we have Baldur's Gate. This game is a small isekai point-and-click dating simulator with light storytelling in a world based off of Krista Lacey's Firestar series. I was trying to keep this game on the down low, but I don't want to gatekeep anymore. You travel the world, defeating monsters in classic JRPG style, all the while trying to meet new people and grow your harem. With multiple paths and people to romance, there is a lot of replayability, owing to its isekai harem style. Think of it like Pokemon, but instead of going outside to collect Pokemon creatures, you are clicking the screen in a dark room to find increasingly strange and exotic people to recruit with the ultimate goal of collecting all of their panties. While there are hotkeys to speed up their gameplay, the distinguished gentleman doesn't have to worry about using the other hand, as the whole game can be played with just the mouse, leaving the other hand free to stroke your cat. Though this can be a little cumbersome. Being a point-and-click adventure, you don't have to worry about missing something important or dying if you have to step away to clean up any messes your cat may have made, or change what you're watching on the other screen. In the rare occasions when something time-sensitive is happening, you can just turn on the turn-based mode, pausing time completely until you're ready to go again. I love this game. It kind of flew under a lot of people's radars and never really got the attention it deserved, leading to the indie studio losing the licensing of the Firestar brand. I'd love for this game to become more popular and to watch the community grow. This is the perfect game for the one-handed gamer, and thus gets a perfect 10 out of 10 on the Stroker scale. Despite how this game looks, there's actually a lot more to it than can be seen at first glance. Most people know Hunipop 2 for its reputation as an intense, puzzle-focused strategy game. But a lot of people overlook the fact that it actually has a very robust interpersonal social strategy metagame taking place in and around the puzzle segments. How you talk to people and win their respect and influence can make puzzles easier or significantly harder, with each person of interest having unique requirements, with the main focus of the game being encouraging cooperation between multiple people.
I detect something here!
This means the game has a level of complexity completely independent of the actual puzzles. This also helps you take a step back and think about how you are approaching real-life people. And even though it's not as simple as completing a puzzle, it can inspire confidence to do things that might seem a little out of your comfort zone when you're making friends. As I said before, the gameplay revolves around completing randomly generated puzzles, representing a social encounter with another person. This is a really clever way to represent how the complexities of each person makes it impossible to brute force your way through and make them like you. But with proper planning and thought, both before and during, you can stack the cards in your favor. However, despite the puzzles being randomized, there are often best methods that can make early to mid-game encounters trivial, and although the difficulty steps up in the endgame, it is woefully short. The lack of different endings also means that once you have completed this game, there is very little reason to go back and play it again. This game is entirely playable with one hand. The only time-based segments are based off of the turns you take, so there's no need to worry if you need to tab out to contemplate your own social life, or grab some tissues for all of the tears that might leak down your cheeks. This is the type of game you only need to play once. When you're done, you'll walk away with a newfound appreciation of what it means to connect with another person, and how to help 2 people connect in ways that they might not have thought possible. While it is a masterpiece of storytelling that beautifully weaves narrative, gameplay, meta-gameplay, and meta-narrative into a profound experience, it's not something that can take up all of your time. For some reason, a majority of players don't make it past the first few levels, where it undergoes a Bloodborne-esque shift and becomes a nail-biting cosmic horror, with the allies or enemies you made throughout your playthrough coming back to help or hinder you as you now battle an ancient apocalyptic evil. This plot point of using communication and cooperation to overcome aspects of reality, fundamental representations of destruction, is a great commentary on the plight of mankind and how our species carves its headway through a cold, uncaring universe. Together. When I first saw this game, I dismissed it as, and excuse my French here, Gooner slop. I thought it looked like any other shovelware game made to help people get their rocks off, and while it might look like that at first glance, there is a surprising amount of mechanical complexity, heart-wrenching story, and gorgeous art that makes this less of a game and more of an interactive art piece. The masterpiece I am talking about is, of course, Nubby's Number Factory. While Hoonipop was about how cooperation can stave off the forces of nature, Nubby's is a somber tale about the inevitability of time. And no matter how hard you try, no matter the Olympian heights you may reach, no matter the wealth you accrue or the person you become, the best you can ever do against the march of the clock is to reach a stalemate. This game only needs the left and right mouse to play and doesn't require constant attention, so it is the perfect game to play one-handed. Nubby sets out with a simple goal: stop the sun exploding. All he has to do is work in the Number Factory, sacrificing his body to prevent a helioclasm. What starts off as a humble undertaking quickly grows into a massive hero's journey, with friends, enemies, betrayal, and a twist no one saw coming. Nubby quickly grows in power, moving beyond the factory up through the strata of society like the hero from the great epic Hardcore Civilization. He gains strange powers, meets strange people, and even engages in shady black market dealings. Eventually, he morphs into an eldritch being, his power so immense that it breaks the very game that contains him. The final boss is one of betrayal, but who knows if he's even human enough to feel the sting. Defeating his guide, he finds himself adrift in a void of ever-increasing numbers. The actions that once gave him purpose, now meaningless. There was no ending, no way to stop the sun. All he can do now is remain locked in a celestial dance of digits, following old routines until eventually even a god can break. There is no win condition, not really. Ending the game is ending the lives of everyone Nubby knows and loves. Continuing on leaves him distant, not only metaphorically, but physically. He is locked in an eternal struggle, protecting people he can't even fathom from a threat that can never truly be stopped. Is a life so isolated and fruitless even worth living? What could he have done differently? The people he didn't get to meet, the food uneaten. Giving up is apocalypse, but sometimes the only way to live is to start again from the bottom. This game is something that comes around only once in a lifetime. It deserves to be put in a museum and join the other great works of art that define the human experience. It is a transcendental piece, not of despair, but of the uniquely human experience of struggling in vain for a noble goal and the nobler pursuit of knowing when to let go and when to start again. So there we have it. 3 great games that you can play with just one hand. From the joy of friendship to the loneliness of power, these games will keep you entranced for hours and hours. All the while, you can keep your hand under the desk to pet your kitty. What, you think I was meant jacking off? That's disgusting. We're talking about art here. Get the fuck out. Jesus Christ. You make me sick. If you have any other games you love and want me to review, let me know in the comments below. But no Gooner slop. Keep it PG-13 for fuck's sake. Unless it's artistic nudity and something like Nubby's and I should play the game anyway. I can't believe you guys thought I was talking about rubbing one out. That's actually insane. Imagine if Peggle got down fuck nasty style with like the Mona Lisa and Van Gogh was there and y'all did the Eiffel Tower while Picasso sits in the cuck chair. Did I fucking write this?